Hi, this is Ryan Saddam, the Chief Experience Officer at Client Savvy. Welcome to another CXps knowledge sharing module. This week, we're bringing something really different to you. As you know, you members of the CXps community, we do an annual award for client experience. And in lieu of an award show, we have this year assembled 2 to 3 minute video segments from each of the 8 winners, so you can hear directly from them what they're doing, what worked, and why they are so committed and successful in delivering on client and employee experience. So hope you will enjoy this mashup of all of these award winners as they share their secrets. Be sure to join us on Friday for the live Q&A. We're going to bring in most of these award winners for the Friday Q&A. So if you have any questions and you want to hear more about what they're doing, they'll all be with us and you can talk with them. They'll also be joining us for our breakouts as well, so you get some small group time to go even deeper. Before we jump into this, I do want to take a moment and thank our sponsors like we always do. Sponsors, thank you very much for your continued support. We couldn't do this without you. Here, with no further ado, I present to you this year's 2020 CX-Cellence Award winners.
The Prologis commitment to client experience basically revolves around 3 things. The first is customer centricity. The second is change through innovation and operational excellence. And last is culture and talent. And those 3 things, we call them the 3 C's, is basically how all of us, every employee from the top to the bottom of the organization, shows up every day for our customers. When I think about what the opportunity is at Prologis that we really capitalized on, we seized the opportunity to kind of take a very mature organization through a cultural transformation. We went from being a lot less tactical to a lot more strategic. We shifted our focus from customer satisfaction to customer success. We also shifted our thinking in terms of not just renewal, but to lifelong relationships. And lastly, I think the most important thing is language drives behavior. So we actually started to change the language. We're in the real estate business. We leased industrial warehouse space. And historically, the contracts for that event have landlord and tenant. And we listened to our customers through various voice of customer mechanisms. And they told us, hey, that's kind of a subordinate way to kind of think about it, right? Like parent, child, landlord, tenant. And we said, you're absolutely right. So we see the opportunity to completely change a lot of our language in terms of not just our contracts, but just in some of our messaging and our email communications. And we went from landlord to being their trusted partner, and from tenant to being our valued customer. Some of the things we did to drive the transformation include taking a look at, okay, what are the sustainable levers for growth and competitive advantage? And, you know, many companies operate based on cost advantage or having a brand or a patent or copyright. Other companies have product development leads with respect to technology. When we looked at what was our secret sauce is really owning the relationship. We are a company that has almost 1 billion square feet in industrial warehouse space around the world in 19 countries, 4 continents, but we've got no call center. Wow, okay, so how do we service our customers? We've got 1,700 employees that every single customer, because real estate is local, can pick out of a lineup. So they don't dial 1-800-FIX-IT-NOW. They dial Karen at 415-555-1212, or they dial whoever their local dedicated team member is. And that has really made a meaningful difference for us. And in terms of not just language driving behavior, for our teams on the ground, which we call our first responders, it has helped shift their focus from just doing things right, which we did really, really well. Our Net Promoter Scores, the first year we started measuring it, were really, really good in comparison to our peers. But that focus shifted from doing things right to doing the right things. So they were empowered to do the right thing at the local level. They don't need to call back to corporate and so on. And the customers really felt a meaningful difference as a result of that. Just that transformation year over year has resulted in customers actually telling us that they're willing to pay a premium because of the nature of the relationship we have with them. Customers who decided that they outgrew their space in a specific location, or they wanted to get something bigger and we didn't have anything immediately available, they've moved on to transition to a peer, but they always call us back. And after 2 days of being on the ground in a new space, in a new place, they say, oh my God, this is not Prologis. And they know that even when they run into some concerns that we don't own because it's no longer our space, they know they can call us if there's a roof leak. If they need any kind of thought leadership or point of view about how they might handle something that's occurring, even when they're no longer our customers, they know they can call us and we'll welcome them back into the family. And for those customers who currently are Prologis customers, our customers, 91% of our customers, according to our surveys and voice of customer feedback, would choose us again and again. I mean, one of the ultimate questions of NPS is how likely are you? 91% of our customers around the world would choose us again. And I think that's a testament to the people on the ground and the feet on the street that service them. You know, customer satisfaction is about efficiency, and we're about that, don't get me wrong, but we're more committed to customer success, which is about their growth, not ours. And we know if we take care of our customers, it will take care of our business.
RTI International is a nonprofit research institute whose mission is dedicated to improving the human condition by turning knowledge into practice. And predominantly, we work for the US federal government. About 80% of our $1 billion in revenue comes from the US federal government. And the federal clients that we work with have a pretty restricted way that they like to give feedback. And like most organizations, we understand fully that the more deeply we understand our clients and their needs, the more successful our organization will be, and ultimately the more able we'll be to achieve not only our mission, but help our clients achieve their missions. And so as we embarked on a journey to really think about a more intentional and purposeful way of creating a feedback mechanism for ourselves that allowed for live dialogue with our clients, could really reach out in real time to them. This is when we recognized that we had a culture that was sort of stuck in the federal government model. And so what we've intentionally tried to do, we, as part of a strategy refresh, intentionally declared ourselves that we are going to be a science-based, client-centric organization. And part of that was really our adoption of a methodology that would allow us to get feedback, respond to that feedback, create that dialogue between our staff and our clients. And so, as you might imagine, an organization 60 years old like ours, there's a cultural element that needed some change. And so one of the things I think I'm most proud of as far as how we implemented the program is to develop an internal change management and communications plan that really both recognized our staff for asking for feedback, receiving feedback, not being a punitive system where we have a saying sometimes that we use that bad news early is good news. And the sooner we can get great feedback from clients, even if it's constructive criticism feedback, the better we can be in partnership with that client to help solve their problems. And so we brought on, of course, some amazing staff to help implement the program. And the comms team, the internal communications team that put the path together for us, I think, did an amazing job. We set an aspirational goal for ourselves of 100% compliance. And compliance is kind of a tough word, but what we want every project director to come into and thinking is, how can I get my client's voice in my head? And how can I get that voice into the staff's head so that we can understand the other perspective? And so that's been our approach to implementing this. And I think our intentionality, we are on a journey. We're trying to move our culture needle forward, but at this point, we're feeling very, very good about the way the staff have rallied behind this goal. I think if there was one sentence that I was going to leave as a takeaway, it's that really the persistence to stay on this path and stay on this journey is very, very important. And the more progress you make, the more the flywheel turns, the more we can see the success coming from the interactions that we're having with our client.
WithersRavenel recently hosted an Exceptional Service by Design workshop. In this workshop, we engaged with mayors, town managers, city engineers, and public work officials. The purpose of this workshop was for our project managers, over 30 of them, to hear the voice of the client and understand the day-to-day challenges that our clients often face. During this listening session, we were able to understand better what those challenges are and how we could alter the way we deliver our services to better align with their needs and to better predict what kind of services our clients may need. Those ideas were put into 26 fundamental behaviors that are in the WithersRavenel Waybook. Those 26 fundamentals are tied back to our core values of quality, community, integrity, sustainability, respect, and collaboration. Every 2 weeks, one of these fundamentals is highlighted, and each one of our project managers looks for a specific way to live out that particular fundamental. Once that happens, those stories are reported back and are shared with the rest of the company. This helps build a truly expansive client experience culture, and the results from that are amazing. One, we're finding ways to better align with our clients, and the feedback that we're getting from our clients are amazing. The best comment that I've heard from one of our clients is, "I'm not sure what it is about your company, but there's just something different." And that's probably the best compliment you could ever get. WithersRavenel's focus on client experience and employee experience have resulted in the 3 major outcomes: happier clients, more successful projects, and happier project managers. That's how we define success the WithersRavenel way.
At Newman Munson, client experience has been our top strategic priority since 2017, and that commitment continues. To us, it's this essential complement to our passion for design. If we practice it, it builds empathy, and that way we can better understand the world as it's seen through the eyes of our clients. And that way our skills and experience are more effectively applied to our clients' pursuits in a way that they're going to really value that.
Yeah, the opportunities that we saw was really to start balancing what we like to call our inside out and our outside in. So from an inside out, we look at that as being our true passions in what we're doing and what we do with architecture and design. And from the outside in, we really want to look at it from the client's perspective and from the client's lens, and how we can develop a better experience and empathy for them and how they're experiencing both the process and the product that we deliver.
At Newman Munson, we engaged our entire staff to define what our ideal client looks like. What's the ideal client profile? Then we examined past client relationships for, where were those relationships hits and misses? And we leveraged what we learned to look ahead with a little more clarity. And we established this a scored go, no-go process using values-based criteria and put it into practice. Ultimately, last year, we pursued less work, but we put more work into targeted pursuits that we were very, very passionate about, incorporating activities like empathy mapping so we could see with clarity the challenges faced by our clients and see it through their eyes as we were talking to them prior to the project.
Some of the value we've seen has been a lot around our acquisition phases, because that's where we've put our most emphasis thus far. And to be honest, we've tried to reduce our RFP processes as much as possible. So we've gone after about 60% less RFPs than we previously had, because we're seeking to align ourselves with our ideal clients. But as a result, we've actually increased our backlog of work by about 30% at that time. So there's been some really good value in return for those efforts.
You know, thinking about taking this forward, one of our clients, they seek to promote peace around the world. And it struck me that after they did an exhaustive study, what they really figured out was at the heart of their mission, and it was to promote empathy. And within our team at Newman Munson, whatever we can do to practice empathy not only makes us more valuable to our clients, it makes us better citizens of this planet.
Modernizing Medicine's commitment to creating customer delight and experiences is really interwoven into the fabric of our organization. We do this by saving time, innovating the products to create more efficiencies for the physicians to produce the outcomes that really benefit both the patients and the practice. So patient care is the highest priority for our clients, and they want solutions that are comprehensive enough to meet their business needs. In our sake, it was a matter of being able to fit into the time contextually to where they needed the help. And so our solutions, which we'll get into in a second, really needed to be able to be just-in-time learning that they can use while they're seeing their patients. Well, we took a three-pronged approach to it. So we divided the different aspects of our implementation and our customer journey into adoption, pre-go live, and then into stabilization when they actually start to use the product, and then optimization once they're in the phase of being an established customer. So adoption, focusing on the training aspect, we brought in different tools and technologies, including our online university and digital adoption platforms, and coupled that with our instructor-led human component to really focus on the custom attributes to the practice that technology has a harder time catering to. So Modernizing Medicine started in 2010, and at that time our product suite was less complex as it is today. And right from the beginning, we really had a great customer satisfaction score from our customer support center, low customer churn, and adoption of our product. But our goal really was to maintain that as our company continued to grow with its product suite and scale the program with what we're doing so that those numbers don't dip and continue to support our customers in the best way possible. So I think that the greatest story is that we've been able to build this really robust product suite along with services that is still just as great of customer service. Our customers are sticking with us long term, and the adoption of our new features that will better provide the efficiencies are all still there. Modernizing Medicine's commitment to continue to drive a stellar customer experience is really to make sure that we continue to invest in all of these tools and methodologies that allow our practices, our customers, to really treat their patients more efficiently and have access to the data that they need to provide better patient outcomes.
Holistically, when we started this more formal journey as it relates to client experience, we really needed to figure out a way how to drive focus to the right customers. So what we did is we applied the 80-20 principle to our client base. And this in and of itself does not translate to better client experience, but what it does allow you to do is it allows you to focus on the right clients. So we determined, hey, where was most of our profit coming? Where was 80% of our profit coming? Let's focus on those clients. So over time, we we applied the principle, and over about a 6-year journey, we went from 3,500 clients to just over 1,000 clients. And with that sheer number of resources available to better serve those 1,000 clients, if you will, it really over time let us provide a lot more value to those specific clients. So over that period of time, 6-year period, the top line growth for our company more than doubled. And more importantly, the profitability increased by about 75% from that baseline about 6 years ago. And really what that was is just figuring out which clients we were supposed to be focusing on and make sure that they had a great client experience. And then you can go deeper and wider with those. But without doing that activity of actually looking at the numbers and doing the activity, it's really hard to determine who you should be focusing on. Because I think as humans, we naturally want to serve everybody as best we can, but you do need to apply the data and create the right processes where you're able to do that to achieve some of these results. So while it's not always the easiest thing, it is the best for your clients and your employees as well. In the future, we're going to do the same thing, continue to evolve that 80-20, but not only to our client base, but to our product base, to our capabilities, and continue to grow in that fashion. So we're excited to do that with client experience really at the center of everything we'll be doing.
Here at HVJ Associates, we provide geotechnical construction materials, civil pavement, and environmental engineering services. HVJ started from the founder's garage and grew to cover the whole of Texas, and then becomes the first of its kind engineering franchise in 2016. 3 years later, our success has positioned us for the first time to the ENR top 500 engineering design firms in the nation. Only 1 year after this recognition, HVJ has advanced 60 spots on that list. Our values are defined by excellence, integrity, respect, and value creation. Our interactive communication with our clients is a major driver of value creation for our stakeholders. Our mission involves a dynamic approach to problem solving. As such, we don't wait for problems to happen. We do the what if in order to imagine what could happen so that we can either avoid them or resolve them quickly. HVJ is a learning organization. We institute lesson learned as a means to actively seek better ways to address the issues that most concern our clients and the communities we work in. We use the engineering knowledge acquired over the past 35 years not only to answer technical needs and challenges, but to deliver a superior services to our clients through continuous development. HVJ is unique in the field because we see our clients and franchisees as partners with whom we continuously develop our professional abilities for ultimate mutual success in working together. Our franchise system gives our clients the access to certified accredited laboratories in different geographical locations, allowing their projects to be served on a short notice in a cost-effective way while maintaining the quality excellence. HVJ is committed to delivering superior engineering knowledge and experience. Bottom line, we are 100% committed to the success and peace of mind of our clients. Our franchise model has only enhanced our ability to do this due to the performance metrics we have in place, which established high baselines for our franchises to meet. Working with Client Savvy has allowed us to measure the quality experience of our clients, and it has been positively transformative for us. Thank you.
Green's commitment to the client experience is really just about choosing our people that work for Green first. We realize that our client commitment is also extremely important, but it's sort of the stepping stone into putting our employees first. And once that is sort of aligned and deeply understood within our culture and our community, that's where everything sort of falls into place. The opportunity that we saw for the employee experience at Green came from just, we've always gone after things really hard. We've gone after projects on how we can better projects, on how we can better our partner experience. But over the last couple of years was really the first time that we even thought about the employee experience, which really was kind of the gap, you know, the missing puzzle piece of really what should have gone first. So some of the things that we tried in order to improve the employee experience were adding other events that would kind of cater to all employees at Green, not just maybe the younger generation or the same people that might have been interested to begin with, but also looking at from areas of empathy. We have our empathy committee and using that to kind of learn everyone's social styles and how different we all really are in the office. So it was really just sort of looking at one big picture from all different angles and creating an experience for our employees that they didn't just feel like engineering as a introverted as a job and as very independent of a job as it is, just sort of keeping everyone feeling focused and together and like they're learning actively throughout, not just on a daily basis, but looking back after the year has gone over and being able to see the growth that they've done at Green through us giving them our appreciation and showing that, especially, but also just from creating a sense of inclusion to our culture. The impacts that this has had on our turnover has been quite noticeable, especially within the last couple of years. Since 2018, we've had a 50% decrease in our turnover. Of course, everyone wants some, but our retention rates have become very visible that what we are doing is working for us, at least at Green. So that's been a very positive experience for us and exciting as well. We have a strong commitment at Green to keep this going. This is not just the end all be all. We created 10 steps for what we wanted to implement to make Green's employee engagement a success for 2019. But for us, this has been just the beginning of so much more that's to come for our employee engagement focus at Green.
All right, thank you so much, 2020 CX-Cellence Award winners. I really enjoyed hearing all of your stories. I enjoyed reading all of your submissions, and I want to thank you and applaud you for the excellent work you're doing. Please keep it up. And I know the entire community appreciates you taking the time and the effort to share your story so we can all get better as well. Those of you who are watching this during the launch week of this video, please be sure to register for the live Q&A with these award winners on Friday, 1 o'clock Eastern Time. Those of you who aren't yet members of the CXPS community, if you'd like the invite to join us for the Q&A, you can go to clientexperience.org and join our community today. Thank you, and we hope to see you there.